Match number 6 of the evening, and our main event would see the EWE heavyweight title put on the line as another one of Essex Rescue's favourites. Damien, that's right, the sexy demon was in the house, and he'd be challenging the champion, who we'd seen earlier in the evening, Arcadius. Now, there was a show of mutual respect to start this one, and these two guys, absolute giants, absolute beasts in the ring, they were evenly matched for power. You'd see a test of strength followed by a headbutt exchange. Absolutely no winner at this point. A shoving match would ensue. Both would you'd have a contest where both of them were colliding. Where you do the running off the rope, and neither of them were budging. You'd see even lariats by both, and eventually both of them would go down and they'd roll outside. You'd see Damien chops and slaps. Oh my goodness, the chops from Damien. I have missed these. I've not seen them in ages, honestly. I think just I love his chops so much it's worth the entrance price alone for me. They fight into the fans. Damien would hit chops in the fans. He'd then parade me to the fans because I was in my sexy demon t-shirt. What a beautiful t-shirt. What a beautiful guy. At this point, I was just absolutely loving it. Not going to lie. At the next moment, though, Arcadius would sit a sweaty Damien onto my lap and then chop him. I had Damien, save me, save me. I couldn't help but laugh. There was no way. I wanted to hear that chop from so close up. Yeah. Anyway, they fight into the fans that were upstairs. Honestly, folks, it was carnage at this point. Arcadius would beat down on Damien. The fans would chop Damien, and Arcadius as well. Arcadius would hit an eye poke and then do the 10 punch count in the fans. They both grab hold of each other's hair, both long-haired individuals, and pull each other into the ring. They actually work. Arcadius would start to unload, and then exchange of corner splashes by both. Damien would hit an explosive lariat and a big boot, but Arcadius would respond with a big boot of his own for a 2 count. Damien would hit the Samoan drop for a 2 count. At this point, this was just an exchange of 2 counts happening. Leg drop by Damien, and then Damien would go on a chop fest. Then would head up top, perform a lariat, top rope lariat, but Arcadius would manage to grab hold of the ropes at the 2 count. Arcadius would then hit the spinning back elbow, and both men would be down before exchanging blows. And these were vile blows. They were absolutely landing on each other. They were trying to cave each other in at this point. And then Arcadius would hit his scoop slam finish out of nowhere, really and truly, to retain his championship. There was a handshake at the end as well. Just love the sportsmanship from these both. They just beat the hell out of each other, and yet they still have the mutual respect to just shake hands at the end. It was fantastic. Honestly, really was fantastic. What a way to finish the show. What a barnstorm of a match it was. And with the going around the fans absolutely love it. Just got them off their seats. Yeah. Damien, we all know how much I think the bloke is awesome. Before the event even started, I was like, I drove 2 hours just to see you in action, Damien. At which point I got laughed out. But anyway, yeah, I love it. Missed the chops. The guy's just intense. He is the sexy demon through and through. The guy just brings it every time. He's high intensity. He's hard hitting. He's everything that you could potentially want in a monster of a wrestler, But he was up against just as big a monster in Arcadius. This guy was a beast. He's huge. That man if he can take a beating, he can give a beating. There's a reason he's the champion. That belt looks good on him. He put himself out there, took on the likes of Damien, and beat the likes of Damien. And to me, that speaks volumes for itself. Anyway, both these beasts, fantastic wrestlers. go and watch them in action. Any chance that you get, you will not be disappointed.